We're talking with Owen Wilson.
That's tomorrow at 9.
Tonight, breaking point. Israel unleashes the biggest bombing campaign in Lebanon in decades as a crisis over kidnapped soldiers threatens to start a wider war. Can the U.S. do anything to stop it? Oil shock. A new record is set. The price of Middle East violence at the pump. Newborns at risk. Infertility treatments at an all-time high. Are they behind a dangerous increase in premature births? We'll take a closer look. And Scouts Honor, the teenager who turned a Boy Scout project into a life-changing event for himself and people half a world away.
From ABC News, this is World News Tonight with Charles Gibson. Reporting tonight, Terry Moran.
Good evening. We begin with a region in turmoil and a world on edge. Israel's furious assault into Lebanon has reached a dangerous stage tonight, threatening to draw other countries into the conflict. Take a look here. Israel is bombarding Lebanon by air, land, and sea, targeting the Islamic militant group Hezbollah, which operates in Lebanon and which kidnapped 2 Israeli soldiers in a daring raid yesterday. Hezbollah is firing rockets in response, hitting more than 20 towns in northern Israel and reaching farther into that country than ever before. Tonight, UN negotiators are on their way to the region, and the Bush administration is scrambling to contain the violence. We have reports from the war zone and the diplomatic front, beginning with ABC's David Wright in Beirut.
Today, this conflict burst wide open on both sides of the border. Today, the rules of engagement changed.
Nothing is safe once they are operating against Israel. And nothing is safe. As simple as that.
From the air and the sea, Israel made good on that threat. Lebanon has not seen anything on this scale for 20 years. Today, Israel pounded targets all across the country. Israeli warplanes knocked huge craters in all 3 runways at Beirut International Airport. The airport is shut until further notice. Israeli warships enforced a naval blockade along the coast. Israel bombed a TV station operated by Hezbollah, and farther south struck at villages, bridges, and roads close to the border. Today, as many as 50 people were killed, including 2 entire families. Israel's stated goal to force Hezbollah to release 2 Israeli soldiers. Israeli officials claimed that militants may be trying to transport the soldiers to Iran. Israel says its goal in targeting infrastructure like this is to cut off Hezbollah's supply line. But in a very real sense, it has now isolated the entire country.
Always civilians get caught in the middle. And unfortunately, this time also the Lebanese civilians get caught in the middle of in a war zone that they have nothing to do with.
Hezbollah is a formidable adversary. Today, the militant group struck back at Israel with dozens of rockets. 2 hit the heart of Haifa, Israel's 3rd largest city. Hezbollah has never struck so deep before. Tonight, Israel struck Beirut Airport again, destroying the fuel tanks. The fire could be seen for miles. If there were any doubt this conflict may spread further tonight, Israel is threatening Hezbollah's sponsors, Iran and Syria, warning that they are playing with fire and will bear the consequences. And late tonight, Terry, the Iranian president shot back, saying that any Israeli strike on Syria would be considered an attack on the whole Islamic world. And he said Israel would face a fierce response.
David Wright in Lebanon tonight. Thanks very much for that. Well, in recent years, Beirut has made a comeback from the violence of the 1970s and 80s and become an oasis of calm in a troubled region. And the border area between Lebanon and Israel has been quiet. That calm has now been shattered, too. Hezbollah rockets have been raining down on northern Israel. ABC's Wilf Dinnick is there.
All day, this city has been under fire. This rocket struck the side of an apartment building. Roughly 20 of these rockets hit this city of 48,000. And all day, there were the warnings. stay indoors and find a bomb shelter. Nahariya is a seaside town just 10 miles from the Lebanese border, and it has almost emptied. Tourists are gone, businesses shut, and the locals who are staying indoors.
I'm not used to being with my kids around bombs and missiles. It's a very frightening situation.
A rocket hit this apartment early this morning. A 40-year-old woman was killed on her balcony. Although these rockets are highly inaccurate, it makes it no less frightening for the people who live here because they never know where the next one will land. 2 rockets landed near the city hospital. All 460 patients were moved to the basement shelter. And in the crowds, among the clutter, Haya Ohana gave birth.
No, not fun, not fun.
Tonight, mother is all right. Her baby daughter is fine. But it's not clear just what they will face tomorrow in a city under siege. Will Sinek, ABC News, Nahariya.
You've probably heard a lot in the last 48 hours or so about the group that's been firing those rockets. So before we go much further, we wanted to give you some context and background about the group known as Hezbollah.
The name Hezbollah means Party of God. It was founded in Lebanon in 1982. Many say by the Iranian leader Ayatollah Khomeini as a response to Israel's invasion of Lebanon. Its stated aim? To destroy Israel and create a fundamentalist Islamic state in Lebanon. Hezbollah has become a political force in Lebanon with 14 delegates in the 128-seat National Assembly. But its influence is far greater than those numbers suggest.
They have a veto power on the decision-making process, and practically today, nothing can be done in Lebanon officially without Hezbollah sanctioning it.
Hezbollah is believed to have been behind the 1983 bombing of the U.S. Marine barracks in Beirut, killing 241 Americans, and for hundreds of attacks against Israel since then. It has become very popular in southern Lebanon, running schools and hospitals and even a satellite TV channel. Hezbollah gets most of its weapons through Syria, where it has a headquarters, and it freely admits it gets much of its funding from Iran. $20 to $40 million a month, according to diplomatic sources. And whether its raid into Israel and capture of the soldiers was done at the request of Iran or not, few observers doubt that Iran signed off on the attack.
This suits Iran's broader strategy as it finds itself pressed by the United States and our allies to negotiate over its nuclear program to create a side issue.
Well, this crisis in the Middle East is yet another problem confronting President Bush and other world leaders as they head to Russia for the Group of 8 summit this weekend. In Germany today, Mr. Bush said Israel's reaction was justified, but he added a note of caution.
Israel has a right to defend herself. Every nation must defend herself against terrorist attacks and the killing of innocent life. Whatever Israel does, though, should not weaken the Sonora government in Lebanon. We're concerned about the fragile democracy in Lebanon. We've been working very hard through the United Nations and with partners to strengthen the democracy in Lebanon.
Well, we're joined now by ABC's White House correspondent Martha Raddatz. Martha, this is clearly a terrific challenge for the Bush administration. So, what are they doing now to try to get on top of it?
It is a challenge, Terry, and right now there are 2 U.S. envoys in Israel. They have been in the region for a couple of days, talking to the Jordanians, the Egyptians today, the Israelis, and tomorrow the Palestinians, trying to calm the situation down. But essentially, they are letting Israel apply the pressure. One senior official told me tonight there is a difference between telling the Israelis to stop and telling them to be careful. We are not telling them to stop. We are telling them to be careful. In other words, target very carefully, but a wink, keep going.
Well, they're getting a lot of advice, people saying that they should send a special envoy to the region, draw red lines that Israel shouldn't cross. But at the end of the day, what is it that the U.S. can do in this region?
That's the perfect question, Terry, because there really isn't a lot the U.S. can do at this point. The U.S. doesn't talk to Iran or Syria or Hezbollah or Hamas. So they certainly can't apply pressure there, but they can apply pressure through the Israelis and try to bring together some allies. The G8 starts this weekend, and you can be certain that the president will be talking to allies on what to do next.
Another challenge for the Bush administration. Martha Raddatz in Germany tonight. Thanks very much for that. Well, the crisis, all of this is roiling the financial markets. The Dow Jones plunged more than 160 points. The NASDAQ fell as well, and oil prices soared to a record close. Israel and Lebanon don't produce oil, but there are fears that this fighting might disrupt supplies from the rest of the region. We're joined now by ABC's Betsy Stark. All right, Betsy, so a lot of Americans might look at that and say, no oil in Israel, no oil in Lebanon. Why is the price going up? How do the oil traders suss this out?
Traders do not like to see trouble in this neighborhood. The Mideast produces 30% of the world's oil. And today, traders were basically worrying about all of the ways in which that supply might be disrupted. If another Mideast nation is drawn into the conflict, if a shipping channel is cut off. So that fear factor basically is what sent prices to a record.
Where do they see this going? How high for consumers, for the markets?
One analyst said to me today, higher oil prices mean higher gas prices. It's just that simple. And record gas prices are a real possibility. The rule of thumb is every dollar increase in a barrel of crude means another nickel at the pump, which means just based on what we saw today, prices at the pump could be going up a dime.
And the record close in the oil markets today, how high could it go? 80, 90, $100 a barrel?
You know, it's interesting. Last year at this time, $80 seemed like a doomsday scenario for a barrel of crude. Today, it is perfectly plausible.
Tough region, as you say. Betsy Stark, thanks for that. Well, we'll take a break now, and still ahead, babies at risk. Infertility treatments taken by so many women, are they behind a jump in premature births? We'll take a closer look. The beloved racehorse waging the fight of his life, Ken Barbaro, recovered. And a Boy Scout's extraordinary good deed inspired by his father at war, helping people half a world away.
This is World News Tonight, brought to you by Tylenol Extra Strength.
Some people think if you have a really bad headache, you should take extra medicine. Problem is, that's not going to get rid of your headache faster. And taking too much of any medication, no matter how safe it is, can cause serious problems. Your health is important to us. So if you're not going to take the recommended dose of our medicine, I'd rather you just didn't take it. And if that means selling less Tylenol, that's fine with me.
You feel like going out? I'm bloated, irregular. Probably stress from exams. Well, look how it makes us eat. So how come you're okay? I eat Activia every day.
Introducing smooth, delicious Dannon Activia. With the natural culture Bifidus regularis, it's clinically proven to help naturally regulate your digestive system in 2 weeks.
It's good. I feel great.
Help naturally regulate your digestive system in 2 weeks.
Now let's get out of here.
Excuse me, Dr. Z, a quick question. What have been the benefits of the merger between Daimler-Benz and Chrysler?
Okay, get in. Clearly, we've successfully combined the best in American and German engineering and design.
You might want to slow down just a tad.
For example, the Dodge Charger suspension originated in Germany. Since inventing the 4x4 SUV, we've improved Jeep fuel economy, and we are building a flex fuel Commander and Grand Cherokee.
Plus the world's cleanest diesel, not to mention 32 highway miles per gallon.
With state-of-the-art four-cylinder technology. The result? Better quality, performance, capability, and vehicles like this Chrysler Pacifica with the most safety and security features in its class.
Are you really a doctor?
Any more questions?
No. I'm good.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Get employee pricing plus 0% financing on 2006 Chrysler, Jeep, and Dodge vehicles. If not satisfied, simply return it within 30 days.
Maud, cows are out.
I found it.
I'll take it from here.
Things are easier to find when they're stuck together. New Gladware interlocking lids lock together so you always know where they are. For lids that are easy to find, get Glad.
We're going to take a closer look now at a growing public health problem. A study out today found that 1 in 8 babies in America, more than 500,000 a year, are born prematurely. That's a 30% increase since 1981. The cost of helping these often fragile infants has also soared to $26 billion a year. Now, the causes of premature births are mostly a mystery, but this new study out today says increased use of infertility treatments may be partly to blame. ABC's Lisa Stark takes our closer look.
It's hard to tell today that twins Gus and Sam Quigley were born dangerously premature, nearly 2 months early.
They were really struggling for their lives. One of them came very close to not making it.
Mom Jenny Minton conceived through in vitro fertilization. Her doctor implanted 2 embryos. Minton said no one at the clinic ever informed her about the risk.
I am sure they want to have healthy babies. I just don't think that the centers, that's their main objective. Their main objective is getting their patients pregnant.
Women who use infertility treatments are much more likely to end up carrying more than 1 baby. And today's report makes clear that puts them at much higher risk of delivering prematurely at 37 weeks or earlier.
62% of twins conceived this way are born prematurely, and about 97% of triplets. Around a quarter of those will have long-term health issues, including disabilities and developmental delays.
Okay, we've got a beautiful egg right here.
Multiple births are more common because patients are often paying $15,000 for infertility treatments with no help from insurance, increasing the pressure for results.
This encourages doctors and patients to put back more embryos to increase their pregnancy rate.
The report recommends setting stricter standards for treatments, limiting the number of embryos that can be implanted, restricting the use of drugs that stimulate ovulation. And those who treat these fragile babies say fertility clinics should also be required to inform women of the risks.
Women need to strike a balance between the hope of pregnancy and the reality of prematurity.
Jenny Minton is still angry she was kept in the dark, but thankful her boys are okay. Lisa Stark, ABC News, Washington.
Now, if you or someone you know is considering fertility treatment, we've got resources on the risks that Lisa's just told us about and how they can be prevented. That's at abcnews.com. When we come back, a legend facing tough odds now, Kentucky Derby champ Barbaro, now in the fight of his life.
Keeping control of a busy emergency room, Janet is a formidable woman. But she was no match for something smaller than the tip of a pen. It KO'd Janet so fast, she didn't know what hit her. It was a clot. Like Janet, if you've been hospitalized with heart-related chest pain or a certain type of heart attack, what doctors call ACS, chances are you've had a clot. But now Janet's doctor is helping increase Janet's protection against heart attack and stroke by putting Janet on Plavix. Plavix, in combination with aspirin and other heart medicines, helps provide greater protection against heart attack and stroke than aspirin and other heart medicines alone by helping keep blood platelets from sticking together and forming clots.
If you have a stomach ulcer or other condition that causes bleeding, you shouldn't use Plavix. When taking Plavix alone or with some medicines, including aspirin, the risk of bleeding may increase. To minimize this risk, talk to your doctor before taking aspirin or other medicines with Plavix. Additional rare but serious side effects could occur.
Ask your doctor about Plavix today, because no matter how formidable you are, you're no match for a dangerous clot. If you take Plavix with aspirin, continuing to do so will help increase your protection against a future heart attack or stroke. Beyond aspirin and your other heart medicines alone, you may be feeling better, but your risk never goes away. Help stay protected. Stay with Plavix.
Good thing there's the speed of Maalox in a chewable, because nothing's faster. Maalox, kick acid.
My name is Ruben Martinez, and this is my story. I'm a hairstylist. I enjoy my clients very much. I say to them things like, you know what? I'm going to change your look. Since they trust me, they let me do whatever I want. I have arthritis in my fingers. This, after you do it 1,000 times, it hurts a lot. Thank God I found a leaf. It really helps. When I take a leaf, I become a lot more creative because I have no pain. I have clients for 20, 30 years, so I must be doing something right. I must be good.
What's that? This? Smart Start Healthy Heart. Healthy Heart? Yeah.
It contains ingredients that may help lower both blood pressure and cholesterol as part of a healthy lifestyle. Cool. It's a cereal that helps take care of my heart. You see, I want to be around forever. Great.
The only one with ingredients that may help lower both. Kellogg's Smart Start Healthy Heart. Do more.
There are new fears tonight about the wildfire raging 100 miles east of Los Angeles. 40,000 acres have burned. High winds and triple-digit heat are already making it difficult to battle these flames. But officials are now concerned the fire could merge with a smaller blaze several miles away and create an even bigger threat to the San Bernardino National Forest. Well, the horse who captured the Kentucky Derby and our hearts is fighting for his life tonight. This is the most serious setback for Barbaro since his devastating leg injury at the Preakness. ABC's David Muir tonight on the struggle to save him.
Since that moment last May, the efforts to save Barbaro have been nothing less than heroic. The highly unusual 4-hour surgery, the pool afterward to keep Barbaro from injuring himself, then intensive care.
And while recovering, the racehorse who'd been robbed at any chance of the Triple Crown had already won the hearts of millions, including his surgeon.
Which is why his announcement today was so difficult.
If you'd asked me 2 weeks ago, I really thought we were going to make it 2 weeks ago. Today, I am not as confident.
With an already fractured right hind leg, the surgeon says Barbaro is putting extra pressure on his left hind leg, causing an acute case of laminitis, inflammation of tissues in the hoof.
When the hoof starts to separate, when the wall starts to break down, the horse is literally losing his foot.
And his surgeon says losing his foot would mean losing the fight. Still, in the Pennsylvania town where Barbaro is being monitored tonight, there is hope.
There's been movies made about it where, you know, the horse that has the broken leg comes back to be a hero again.
The once strong Barbaro is on pain medication as his owners confront pain of their own, deciding whether the odds against him this time are too great. David Muir, ABC News, New York.
The comedian and actor Red Buttons has died.
He's a man.
Known for his fiery red hair and 1950s TV variety show, Red Buttons made people laugh for more than 60 years. He won an Oscar for his role as a soldier in a taboo relationship in Sayonara.
What reason to give you for it? No reason. I know what it is. Every guy on that list is married to a Japanese girl.
Red Buttons died in Los Angeles. He was 87. Well, when we return, we'll tell you about a father and son and an extraordinary act of generosity.
All of us have internal plumbing. But for some of us with frequent bladder urges, doing errands also means knowing where all the bathrooms are along the way. The worry your pipes might leak means you don't always detour from your route. But you can take another direction. Talk to your doctor about how to take care with Vesicare. Vesicare, once a day, can reduce urges and may help effectively manage bladder leakage day and night. If you have certain types of stomach, urinary, or glaucoma problems, do not take Vesicare. While taking Vesicare, if you experience a serious allergic reaction, severe abdominal pain, or become constipated for 3 or more days, tell your doctor right away. Common side effects are dry mouth, constipation, blurred vision, and indigestion. A chance to follow a whim, not always your urges. It's not just a pipe dream. Ask your doctor today if Vesicare is right for you.
Mom and Dad discussed hectic days. Alex discovered a new way to accessorize. And Quinn laughed till milk came dangerously close to coming out of her nose. Talk about having a lot on your plate. Introducing organics at the Walmart price. What will you bring to the table?
Dr. Robert Jarvik, inventor of the artificial heart. The average heart beats 2 billion times. The heart is amazing, but high cholesterol can lead to heart disease. Lipitor can help. When diet and exercise aren't enough, adding Lipitor significantly lowers bad cholesterol, 39 to 60%. If you have several common risk factors for heart disease, Lipitor is clinically proven to reduce your risk of heart attack. And more cardiologists surveyed said they'd prescribe Lipitor for their own families than any other cholesterol-lowering brand. Lipitor is not for everyone, including people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. You need simple blood tests to check for liver problems. Tell your doctor if you are taking other medications or if you have any muscle pain or weakness. They may be a sign of a rare but serious side effect. Lipitor is one of many treatment options to consider with your doctor. It's your heart. Ask if Lipitor is right for you.
Visit Lipitor.com for a free trial.
I'm Steve Dunn. Next, the Northwest's only all-local newscast tonight. A judge tries to keep a convicted sex offender from stalking other women. And Intel's making cuts at the top. We'll show you how much the area's largest private employer is cutting back tonight.
Finally tonight, a remarkable story about generosity and a father and son. Each took an oath to serve others, and that has united them and their family half a world apart. Here's ABC's David Curley.
Nick Sean wants to be an Eagle Scout.
I never imagined I'd ever end up doing something like this.
He planned to work with his father on his scout project, but Dad is out of the country.
I had to go through the challenges pulling this all together, and I've never had to do anything like that before.
His project is now a family mission, all inspired by these pictures of Afghan adults and children without shoes, and stories of Afghans treated at a local hospital.
Children who came in with landmine injuries and, other just pretty horrific problems. They came in and they had to cut the clothes off because they were completely damaged, and when they left, they had nothing to wear.
So the Shawns started asking for donations. Even the smallest members of the family pitched in.
It's in North Afghanistan. This was the kids' there. 35, 36.
They were nearly overwhelmed.
I collected 69 boxes worth of clothes and toys.
All those pictures, all those stories that provided the passion for this project came in emails from halfway around the world. They came from Nick's father.
Hi, Dad.
In Tarankot, Afghanistan.
We get blood?
Major Scott Sean is an Army doctor sent to the desert of Afghanistan to treat soldiers, but has spent much of his tour helping civilians and helping his son long distance.
Being able to tie this in, have my son's Eagle Project help out with what I'm doing and how good this makes me feel, makes me very happy.
More than a ton of goods were shipped from Maryland all the way to Afghanistan. 300 pairs of shoes, 1,000 shirts, 25 soccer balls, all now being dispensed here along with medicine. They helped us, says this man. I'm very happy.
We tend to have extra of almost everything, and I think it's kind of important that people give up a little bit to try to help other people who need it more than we do.
Nick Sean may have earned an Eagle Scout badge, but he learned much more. David Curley, ABC News, Gaithersburg, Maryland.
One family giving back. And that is World News Tonight for this Thursday. I'm Terry Moran. For all of us at ABC News, have a good evening and good night.
Can this teenager perform miracles? Thousands believe he holds the power to heal. Now, a primetime investigation follows his true believers so desperate for a cure. Is it madness or miracle? Don't answer that until you see this primetime tonight.
Now, on K2 News at 6:30.
You don't have to do anything provocative to get one of these guys locked onto you. Just your existence is enough.
Disturbing information about a convicted sex offender who's accused of stalking and what's being done to stop him. Plus,
and I was thinking about going up there and camping for a week by myself. I don't think I will be.
Hikers are nervous after a mother and her daughter are murdered while hiking on a popular trail. And how a backyard barbecue caused big problems for a family in West Lynn.
Live at 6:30, K2 News, the spirit of the Northwest.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Deborah Now.
And I'm Steve Dunn. Our top local story tonight. A man accused of stalking hundreds of women at local shopping malls gets a court order today. A Clackamas County judge tells Timothy Allen Cole he must stay away from one victim. But as K2's Susan Harding reports, this could be just the start of a very long investigation.
New leads could bring more charges against Timothy Allen